Something new. Stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop. Oh, no.
Okay, so this is take 2 of the Batman vs Superman movie review. As y'all can see, I'm actually not at home. I'm at my mom's crib, and I actually shot this review at the hotel, but I had a big fucking booger in my nose. And as you guys can tell, I'm not exactly home. I'm at a hotel right now. It's my mom's birthday weekend, so I've been super busy running around all weekend. So it was very distracting. So we are going to do the review again. So what's going on, guys? Marcus here from the shop. You guys have seen countless of Batman vs Superman movie reviews, and they've all been pretty much saying the same thing, and honestly I feel the same. I love the movie, I love the action. I feel like a lot of the fight scenes, the choreography, all of it is straight out the comic books, straight from the cartoons and the animated series. But the story and the script was everywhere. It felt like they were trying to make about 4 to 5 different movies all at one time. It was just a gumbo of different DC animated movies at once, and I wasn't really feeling it. As a comic book fan, a fan of the cartoons, the animated movies, all that, I love the action again, and I know where they're going with it. But if I take, again, it's my mom's birthday weekend. I don't know if I said that earlier. Okay, I didn't say it. It's my mom's birthday weekend, so if I wanted to take my mom to go see this movie, I guarantee you she'd be completely clueless on what's going on. Like, I feel like they could have stripped out a good 20 to 30 minutes out the movie and just structure it slightly better, and it would have came out a lot stronger. The fight scenes were dope, but leading on to the battle of when Batman actually went against Superman, it was just excruciating. I was getting bored. Tracia was falling asleep.
Like I am now.
Like she is right now. And I felt like there was certain things they could have taken out. Like, I'm tired of seeing Bruce Wayne's parents getting shot. We've seen it in the earlier 90s Batman movies. We've seen it at least 2 or 3 times. The first Michael Keaton movie, Batman Forever, and I'm sure a few other times. We've seen it in the Nolan universe, and we've seen it in the animated series and all that. We know what happened. Everyone knows his origin. And me personally, I felt like they could have taken out the apocalypse scene, the dream sequence. When I first saw it, there were rumors that it was Apocalypse, but I didn't know that for sure. I was like, maybe. And then when it just came out to him fighting Superman, I was like, where is this going? I feel like this just needs to go. And then it wasn't until you see, spoilers by the way, there may be some spoilers in this review. I'm sure half the world has already seen this movie, so if you haven't, stop the video, watch it later.
Are you talking about Doomsday?
No, Apocalypse. I'll get to that in a little bit. So in the movie, you see Superman in the dream killing all these, well, not killing all these guys, but he kills the 2 guys, and he kills Batman by punching him in the chest. So I read an article, and I was talking to a couple of friends, and they said that in the dream, it's Superman, but it's really supposed to be Darkseid that's actually going to do that. You know who Darkseid is? Okay. Do you remember the Justice League, the big gray blue guy with the blue helmet, and he has like red eyes? You remember that? That's Darkseid. And then Flash comes out of nowhere. That's what they said. It was Flash that came out the dream when he woke up. When he did that whole Inception thing, he had a dream within a dream. And the Flash came out. I didn't know who the fuck that was. I was like, who is that? I was thinking it was somebody from the Apocalypse world giving him a message. And again, after reading a couple articles or watching a few reviews, people were saying that was the Flash. And right there, that's another point that I don't like. I don't really like the way Flash looks. I don't like his costume, but it's supposed to be future Flash, so I don't know, whatever. But I actually prefer the CW Flash. But other than the costumes, I mean, everyone looked crazy. Even Gal Gadot. Like, Gal Gadot, I thought she killed her role. There were a couple complaints of people talking about how her acting wasn't up to par. She only had a few lines, and I thought she nailed her role. Mind you, I'm not a 100% movie critic, so I can't like dissect each little line here and there. I thought she did her job. And people want to talk about how Wonder Woman is supposed to be like built and voluptuous and curvy, and if you guys remember the Justice League animated series, Wonder Woman was pretty petite. She was thin and strong looking, but she was still petite. I'll put a picture right here. And I thought she looked the part. I don't have any complaints about that. I have no complaints of none of the actors or how they portrayed their roles. Ben Affleck killed it. He is the best Batman in my opinion. She still thinks that Christian Bale is Batman. But yo, Ben Affleck was huge, he was gritty, he was gully, he was blowing motherfuckers up, which makes me question his morality because he was blowing people up, killing them, and it's like he had no second thought on it. People complained on the first Man of Steel or Man of Steel that Superman broke General Zod's neck, and they were like, oh, Superman doesn't kill, Superman doesn't kill. And it's like, mind you, he had only been Superman for like maybe 2 hours. He's still learning, so there was really no other way he could think of saving those people. Batman, on the other hand, was blowing people up and shooting people with no second guessing. I don't know if he second guessed it or not, but there's no remorse in his face. He was just blowing them up. They died, it was over, he was moving on. But the actual fight sequence that we saw in the warehouse, that was like straight from the Arkham Asylum games. It was ridiculous. The way they were shooting at him, he was so flexible, he could move his neck, the way he was throwing batarangs, stabbing them with the fucking batarangs, and he got shot in the head like 3 times and it was still bouncing off. I loved it. That was my favorite scene. As far as Jesse Eisenberg goes, people complained that he was really quirky, and I wasn't really feeling that either, because my interpretation of Lex Luthor is from the Superman animated series and the Justice League animated series, where he's a handsome, well-spoken, confident man. You know, he's real smooth and divine. Jesse Eisenberg pretty much played himself, but just really quirky. Like, he was like hyped up on like 20 Red Bulls and was just acting out of his mind. Like, he was like Jim Carrey when he played the Riddler. He was really over the top. I wasn't really feeling that, but going into the movie later on, I kind of knew he was going to act like that, so I kind of accepted it for what it was. I was like, all right, we're moving on past that. But even towards the end, it seems like he's going to go towards a more dark, I guess a darker path. So he's not going to be as quirky as he was in this movie and later movies. And I hope he's not going to. I hope they get past that. I hope he's going to be more dark. But going past Lex Luthor, I liked Alfred. She seemed like, she thought that there was no real, connection between Alfred and Bruce Wayne. I didn't really care for that, because I know personally Bruce Wayne was an older guy, so he doesn't need to necessarily be the father figure. I saw past that. My real gripe isn't with the actors itself. I feel like everyone killed their role. It's the story, it's the script. It's pretty much what people have been talking about. They should have took out a good 20 minutes. Again, personally, I feel like they should have took out the dream sequences. We would have been fine. I'm tired of seeing Batman's parents getting gunned down.
The only dream sequence I did like was the one with Superman's dad.
Okay,
like that was necessary, because like I felt like the movie focused a lot more on Batman.
If you can't hear what she says, she said that the one sequence that was important to her, the one where Clark talked to Papa Kent, and I personally, when it got to that point, I was already over the dream sequences. I was like, oh my god, another one. But going back and actually thinking about that, I was like, that might be the one that's actually vital and important, because we are still coming off of Man of Steel. Going off of what I've talked about with different friends and their take on the movie, one of my friends said that they should have just scratched this idea and they should have just went with a Man of Steel 2, because there were a lot of scenes in this movie that made it seem like they were just focusing on Superman, and it should have just been a Superman part 2. Like when they were trying to figure out if Superman is here to be a hero, or is he one day going to conquer us because of all this power. You guys know what I'm talking about when he was in the courtroom. Those scenes like that, those scenes should have been in a Man of Steel 2, according to my one friend. So you agree that it should have been a Man of Steel 2 before Batman vs Superman. I agree somewhat. I think that they would have been fine just making it Batman vs Superman, but I feel like they should just focus on these two characters. So I think it's cool if they had these certain scenes focusing on Superman, like the courtroom scene, but they should have taken out like the Justice League little Easter eggs. They should have taken out the Doomsday. They should have just focused on these two core characters. I personally feel like if they were going to show the Justice League, the Flash, the Aquaman, and Cyborg, they should have did that at the end. They should have did that like as like a post-credit scene. Bruce Wayne somehow picks up some files and just comes across his bat desk, and he plays on his bat computer. And right there we see the three videos of Aquaman, Flash, and Cyborg, and right there it cuts off. So you guys remember in the first Batman Begins, we see Batman talking to Commissioner Gordon. Commissioner Gordon hands him a Joker card, and he goes, all right, I'm on it. And that was it. So we knew that they're setting up for a series. We know part 2 is going to be the Joker. So from there, if we see those 3 videos, we know that the next couple movies they're going to start adding in these characters. But that was so shoehorned in this movie. I felt like they kind of rushed it. I feel like if they were going to just do Batman vs Superman by itself, Wonder Woman should have played a smaller part. They should have just showed her with smaller scenes. Do you agree? Okay, she's nodding her head. Another friend says they should have taken out the whole Doomsday fight scene completely. Like, that was unnecessary because what happened to Superman at the end. I'm not gonna say what happened. I know I said there'll be some small spoilers, but I don't want to spoil the whole fucking movie. But the whole fight scene at the end and what happened to Superman, that should have been saved for later because they wasted the Doomsday character. These are not my words, these are the words of my one friend. They should have kept it for a different movie. They should have kept what happened to Superman later because that deserved its own movie. I agree with that as well, but I liked what I saw here. People complained about the CGI. Again, I can't critique a movie completely to say whether the CGI was on par or not because to me it looked good. I liked how the horns are coming out, but people complained about it. I don't think it looked bad at all. Yeah, I don't really have too many other complaints. I felt like everyone killed their role. It was just really boring. The script just felt like it was literally everywhere. If they were to just, me personally, I feel like if they were to take out a lot of these dream sequences, it would have made for a tighter, more nicer, flowing movie. Take out a good 20 minutes of the movie. Also, this actually made me think of, when Zack Snyder mentioned that he was going to release a unrated version of the movie when it comes out on Blu-ray, which adds 30 minutes.
Hell no.
Right there, yeah. Right there, I was like, I'm already.
This fucking movie was 2.5 hours.
Yeah, so that the movie's gonna be 3. But
Shut
by him saying that before the movie is released, because he said that like a week or 2 before the movie was released, it made me feel like he didn't have the confidence in this movie anymore. It made me as a viewer like, I don't know if I'm as excited to watch this anymore, because maybe the Blu-ray is gonna be better. And it may be. This movie is long as shit, but I'm wondering what the Blu-ray is going to add. Is it going to add more action sequences? Is it going to add more talk? And that's the problem with this movie because there's a lot of talk. I don't know. Like, I think Zack Snyder definitely killed it as far as visuals. It was very visually pleasing. I know I complained about Bruce Wayne's parents getting gunned down, but even when he had the gun like tucked under the pearls, that even looked nice. But they could have taken that out. I think he's great as a visual director, but they need somebody else to write these scripts. I love where they're going with the universe, but it needs to be written better. It needs to flow better. I think Suicide Squad is going to actually be a lot tighter than this one. I think it's going to look a lot nicer. But that's pretty much it, guys. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I'm sorry for the late review. Again, y'all know I've been super busy. I'm not even home. So let me know what y'all think in the comment section below. I'll catch y'all later.